Welcome back to Oceanblock. Yes, my voice is indeed terrible. It still is. I'm not sick. I just somehow lost my voice. Not sure how. Yes, I talk for long periods of time when I'm recording, but it's not like I'm new to this whole thing. I've kind of done it a lot before, so I don't know why I'm losing my voice now. But it hasn't come back yet, and I don't know if it's going to come back soon or if it's going to take a little while longer. And I wanted to make sure I still had these videos coming out for you, so here we are. I got to deal with it. Hopefully you can too. But like I mentioned, I do have a couple more platforms to make over here. So I don't have those yet. But as for the other ones I have made, I did put the drawers attached to these individually. And each one of these is a separate drawer network, basically. So each one also has the seeds on it for the ones that it's got. They're all locked, they're all labeled. They show the amounts in them and everything. So they're each their own little network, and we're going to attach those to our network, so we have easy access to all of that stuff. But right now, it's not too incredibly vital that I get that hooked up. Today, what I kind of wanted to work on is actually starting to get more of the seeds. I keep running into the situation where I need a certain supply and I don't have it because I need to get the seed, and I'll end up making 1 or 2 seeds here and there, and then I have to wait for the essence to come in order to actually get that resource to continue. I'd like to go ahead and get the seeds so I have a stash of that essence ready and waiting for when I do need the resource that it will give me. So I'm going to start kind of grinding out a little bit about this. The first one is actually one of the more difficult ones. It's the nature seed, or I think it's called the nature seed. This guy, yeah. So in order to get this guy, I need the nature agglomeratio, and I'm missing potatoes. Now I made one mistake with this because I actually have 2 of them, which means I had 2 potatoes. I should have grown those potatoes first and then made them, but I didn't think about it. I wasn't thinking at that point in time. I was just like, okay, let's make 4 of them, get my nature seeds, and I no longer have to worry. I didn't realize I only had 2 potatoes. So now I have to find out where to get potatoes from. I think you can get them from mobs, particularly zombies. If you kill enough, I think they will eventually drop a potato. I could be wrong, but I think so. I don't think Drown will. Drown will sometimes drop gold. Zombies, I think, sometimes drop either carrots or potatoes. But like I said, I could be wrong. I don't actually know. That said, I did have a couple of potatoes first, and I don't know where I got them. But as you can see, I've been doing a lot of exploration. I've been going around underwater, changing things up here. I explored a lot underwater, trying to wait for my voice to clear up. And I was just going around breaking barrels, kind of getting stuff. So I've actually gotten some decent things. Like I have a couple of nether stars. I have, I don't know, some interesting stuff here that I got along the way, just doing all of this stuff. And in the process of doing that, I got a lot of spawners as well. And you can kind of see the ones I have. I've got the zombie here, the creeper, sheep, blaze, the skellies, the strays, guardian, drown, and wither skelly. Now, some of those you already knew I had, but others, kind of like the guardian ones, come from this guy here, which, as you can see, is kind of torn apart. This little thing underwater here, right by our base, is the first one that I tackled. And I got this stray spawner, a couple of zombie spawners, and a couple other things here that I got from this area. There may be another. I don't know if he's just. I don't know what's going to happen to that guy. But there's a lot of ice in this area as well that I would love to be able to pick up, but I need Silk Touch for it, I think. I need to get the ice so that I can make the ice seeds, but I need silk touch, and I'm working on that. But initially, I kind of just explored a lot and got a bunch of the barrels that, from underwater and stuff, and that's kind of what I got from them. So if you see me have something, you're like, how did he get that? I probably explored a bunch and got it. You can actually take a look around the area, and you'll see that these guys here, this is where you get the barrels from, and they were populated. I got all the barrels basically in this area, and even some out here. And I hop, skipped, and jumped kind of randomly around just to kind of collect a lot of them. And I did a lot of that. So that's kind of where I got a lot of things. But it is what it is. What I need to do or want to do is maybe get this zombie spawner set up somewhere so that I can actually get potatoes. If I can get potatoes, one potato, I can grow the rest and actually get our nature seeds. And we can get this one, which is one of the last things that I need for that, the earth seeds. So I just got very, very, very lucky. Now, I did go through a bunch of setup, and let me show you what I'm talking about. Down here, I did a bunch of work, okay? I went through and I actually made and put down this little spawner room. It's under the world because I figure we haven't really done anything under the ocean. And all of that water blocks sunlight, so we don't have to worry about what time of day it is. On top of that, it's just really cool looking underwater. It gives something to look at. And we can use glass, which glass is kind of expensive when compared to other things, but I like the view. It's a pretty cool concept. So I figured, why not? I also made it into a switch situation, so I can turn that off. It'll turn off all the lights in here and allow the spawner to work. But when I'm not down here, I can just leave it on, and I don't have to worry about anything. And when you're up top and it's on, it kind of looks pretty cool from above too. Now, like I said, zombies can drop potatoes. The first batch of zombies here gave me a potato. Now, trapdoors, I'm not going to go into detail because it would take me too long, but trapdoors are incredibly versatile. And this guy is protection against the mobs in several different ways. But as you can see, I need the ice seed. That's the last one that I need. And I have the ability to get it. I told you this was the trouble one. This is, well, not the trouble, one of them. That I might have needed silk touch, but I actually didn't. So the Blizz Cube here is the head of one of the creatures we actually killed down in that dome. So we got that head. We got lucky with that. Because with that thing, we can actually create Blizz powder, which we can turn into ice charges, which we can freeze ice buckets with to get the ice. So I got super, super lucky with that. I'm about to make the last seed that I need for the first tier, for tier 1. I ran into a little bit of a snag. As you can see, I didn't make it very far, and the reason for that is because I realized I'm going to want access to these in a decent portion. I got to move that guy. I'm going to want it basically access to all these essences. I'm going to need to craft a few things in order to get the resources I need to make other seeds. These guys mainly, but also some of the others in certain cases, like the stone, or maybe not the silicon. I was thinking it was stone, but stone's over here. But the nature essence is totally plausible. The fire and water come in handy in certain cases. So I'm going to want access to these. So I was looking at how to do that. Rather than run cables to everything, I wanted to find the distance ones so that I could keep everything as modular as possible, meaning no cables going between anything. It's all separate. The way to do that is with the network transmitter and receivers. I believe, I'm hoping anyway, I don't have to have a network transmitter for each individual one. I might, but I'm not sure how many different receivers you can have attached to one transmitter. We're going to find out. But in order to do that, I need netherite. Now, I was coming into the problem. Obviously, there is the essence, but in order to make that, you have to have them to begin with. You also need tier 5, which is going to be a while, but I was looking into some other things if we need to get this netherite. It's very difficult to get. Like, very, very, very difficult. You need debris scrap, which I've found a few of, because you can get them in the loot, but it's a very small chance and only from golden barrels, which aren't all that, they're not that common. So how do I do it? And then you go in further and you look at the recycling. And you see some of the other things I've been getting in a decent amount is extra trinkets. Now, you see those, the broken hearts, are some of the ones that allow me to do that. So if I go over here and put these guys in this and recycle them, because I have already learned them, I already have those. Those are all extra. Then I get netherite ingots. And with these guys, I can make the seeds for them. I have to grind these out, yes, but I can do it. So we're going to need to make the tier 5 platform so that I can put this guy on there and make the entire next platform and get it ready for us so that we can get netherite. Because netherite's definitely handy. And there's no way I'm going to waste these 4 hard-to-get netherite on something else that's going to make them run out without being able to reproduce them later. I have to get the seed. It's the smartest play. I am still kind of halted. I'm still... Reason for that is because, like I mentioned, I needed netherite, and netherite is great. Problem is, I didn't quite look at things. Because netherite... you guys... In order to get these, you have to have Insanium farmland, not Supremium farmland, which is the one I made. Insanium requires the last essence from mystical aggreditions. And it's unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate because it takes a lot of essence. So what I did is I made this. Basically, it's a grid of a lot of these plants, and I'm just kind of chilling, and I'm getting a bunch of these. Now, on one hand, I kind of want this many. I'm contemplating making a separate island just for these guys and making it like a 5x5, having 25 of them and all of them going at one time, just so I can get a huge amount of this. I am probably going to do that. In reality, I'm probably going to do it, and that island is going to be up here. I just feel like it's going to be better that way. Actually, now that I think about it, I have a better design that will actually allow me to utilize the same one, which is going to be good. So we're going to probably do that. The alternative is something else that I was also considering. This guy. This guy outputs 16 times a normal botany pot and is 20% faster. So, excellent. Problem is, I don't know if you saw it in there, but it... Oh, it didn't actually say... Oh, yeah, it does. It did say it there. Hold on. 50,000 FE per tick. 50,000. Now, there's multiple tiers. So, I mean, it's cool and all, but it takes a lot of energy, and it could take us a while to get there. Now, based on the way I do things, we will eventually have that much energy generating at one time, plus a lot, more than likely. But, because that's just how I do it. I like to go above and beyond, which is why I'm struggling with this, because it's not. This whole plant thing is kind of slow in reality. Eventually, we are going to have the upgraded pots for everything. That's how much energy, plus extra, because I'm going big on everything. Remember, I do it all. Eventually, I'm going to have a lot of energy generating at all times just to keep up with everything that I want to go and get. Do I need that much? No. No, I do not. Do I want that much? Yes. Why? Because I can. Those are in the words of another favorite friend of mine. Favorite friend? Good friend. We'll just say good friend. If that good friend happens to be watching, thank you for those words because, granted, it's kind of said by a lot of people, but I think that friend will know who he is. Anyway, so because I can is definitely going to be one of those deals. And I don't know. I like to go there. Anyway, point is, I'm not there with these guys, and it's driving me nuts that I have to wait so long for them all. So I'm kind of But what I'm probably going to work on is setting up the next set, the new design I have that allows me to utilize the same one, but still vastly increases our inferium essence input or intake or creation or whatever. There's a lot. I am talking this subject to death. You guys won't know that because I probably cut this clip to shreds to cut it all out, but you get the idea of what I'm trying to do. I think you get the idea. I'm going to build the thing I was talking about. Oh, and the other part I didn't actually tell you about because I forgot about it is this guy here. Okay, I have a lot of other machines here that I just kind of set up because I got them as rewards. I don't need an advanced and a basic compressing factory. This guy, however, is one that I just made. This is one of my favorite blocks in existence, as well as some of the other ones I've mentioned. This guy allows you to input crafting recipes, just straight up crafting recipes, just like you see here. And it will just perform them as long as it has energy. It's just that simple. It's a very early version of auto crafting for a certain number of recipes. And I love to do it for this purpose because you can automatically upgrade each of these things. So if I put in a bunch, it'll auto craft all of those things for me. I don't have to do it individually, which is kind of a pain doing it individually, but I don't have to worry about that. I can just drop the base essence in and it will auto craft everything else for me, which is fantastic because, well, it's such a pain to do by myself. And now I don't have to. I just got to collect it all and drop it all. And everything else is done. All right. Progress has been made. There's a lot of stuff going on here that you can see. And again, I do have a design in mind that will cover all of this up, okay? I still haven't described what that design is, but it's pretty cool. I hope it actually turns out cool. It's cool in my head, but we'll find out later. For now, we got a few floating cables that are really kind of ugly, but they are highly functional. And the reason for that is because of this guy right here, the network receiver. Now, I did take a look at the network transmitter because I was going to have a network receiver at each place. But the network transmitter only accepts one card. So I could have easily just run a cable from my network down below, like across the back of this and into these things. But these are the only things that I know for sure are going to stay put. Because this is going to be part of the permanent design. The rest of this is going to change. So if I attached it here, I would have had to move it later. But right now, I can move this whole setup. And as long as this guy right here is the same, like the card does, or that guy over there doesn't change at all, it's fine. It's, I can move it wherever. And the energy it takes to go that far will change. But it will still work and link up okay. So what this allows us to do is actually have access to all of our essences without them actually being in our network here. Which, by the way, I didn't show you, but I got 2 more 64K storage drives. Just because, why not? But, yeah, so we now have access to all of the essences that we get. Which is fantastic because, well, it just is. It's fantastic. It's a bee with, I don't know what that is, a panda hat? That's pretty cool. Anyway, so we also have the hive hopper, which makes it easier to do these things, I guess. I just bumped into them because they were fighting over a flower. But, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of cool. But the hive hopper actually, basically, it carefully extracts products from the hive. I've already gotten 2 honeycombs and a bottle of honey which is going to let me do what I need to do for the honey seeds. I actually don't have too long to go. I need one little more bottle, which I just have to wait for this to get to 5 for. So I've given myself another task. There's something I realized that I wasn't a big fan of, and I searched and searched, I say, to find the solution. And in case anybody is having the same issue, I found the answer. If you go underwater with anything less than a full suit of better diving gear, you get mining fatigue and slowness. Now you see I searched for Trinket up here. There is a couple that do, I don't remember what it is. You are immune to nausea, mining fatigue, and slowness. Problem is, it's not attainable. And this is one of the complaints people have. However, this guy is attainable from the small crates found on rafts. So we want to go through and find the magical herbs. If we can get this trinket, I don't have to have the full set, and I can start putting on the better armor. And the reason I'm looking at that is because we have 17 Supremium essence, and I haven't even been AFK or anything. I've just been playing. If I went AFK for 1 hour, we'd have enough for everything we need in the entire series. Like, this is one heck of a plot there. It's working really well. And the Supremium gear is really, really good. It has a lot of augments in it as well. So I really want to find the best way to go about doing that. And I think the magical herbs is it. Because if you combine the magical herbs with the turtle shell, we can breathe forever underwater and avoid all the negative effects, allowing us to wear whatever armor we want. That's what I'm looking for. I wasn't looking for it, but the first pulsating crate I found, which coincidentally is the first anything I found. Well, it's the first one I broke. I kind of skipped over a few. I'm only looking for small crates, so I want to search for only those and only break those. I can come back later for the other ones if I want it. But I found a pulsating crate, which are ones that I'm also going to break open, and we got ourselves a wither rose. That is fantastic, because we can go through, get more wither roses, but also get ourselves some cursed earth, which is just like the blessed earth from the beginning of the series with the other mobs, but now we get all of the bad ones, and we don't even need spawners after that. The first one, we got some netherite nuggets, which we definitely don't need, and the Pinkinator. I don't even know what this thing does. I've always seen it, but I never crafted it. I guess now we're going to try to use it and see what happens. It's raining pretty terribly, but here's number 2. Oh my god, number 2! I've been getting so lucky in this one. So lucky in this mod pack. I am so excited. I don't need the friggin' suit anymore. Oh my goodness, let me go home and sleep. How amazing is this? Oh, it's wonderful. No more suit necessary. I will say, I like... Well, it seems like it's happening no matter what. Maybe it's better diving that changes the swim, and it's not the suit. That's even better. See, I thought the diving suit is what made the controls of water like they are. I like it because normally you sink in in water, and it just happens. But here, you kind of stay still. You can swim where you want and stop, and you don't have to worry about anything. It's really cool, actually. I actually really like how the swimming is. But anyway, so now that we have those, I don't need these guys, and I can start getting some really cool armor sets. I don't know how difficult they are to get, but I have the Supremium essence, which I think is one of the more difficult things to get for whatever it is. Now, I also know that there is an augment for the armor, for mystical agriculture armor, and I don't know like how to go about getting it. I don't know how to augment it, I mean. I'm assuming there's some way to do it. I don't know if you just craft the item with it or not, but It's a thing. There's some pretty cool stuff like strength 3, health boost 5, wither resistance, absorption 5. I don't know what that is either. Mining fatigue resistance, pathing AoE, whatever. See, things like this make me think you can have as many of them as you want. Because why would you include these in? Nobody would choose this unless it's really, really, really easy to switch augments, which could also be a thing. So I don't know, like, if you go to useful, use, it doesn't show you how to do it. But I don't know. Anyway, I have the thing that I need. I can work on gear, which eventually we can just do Draconic Evolution gear as well, which is overpowered and ridiculous. I'm just super, super happy about it. It's really, really cool. So I made some progress figuring out what kind of armor I wanted. I want the mystical agriculture gear, kind of pointed that out, kind of figured that's where I was headed. But as far as the augments you can get, these are the ones I'm going to go for. Night vision, just because I love having night vision. It's actually dangerous because I might forget to put down torches or something. But I do enjoy it because it makes it a lot easier to see, like underwater and everything. It's really, really useful, especially for water, believe it or not. Fire resistance, because who doesn't want to be immune to fire? Especially with how we get around the nether and stuff. It's going to be useful. Speed, because who doesn't like to move fast? And my absolute favorite, the one that has to go on the boots, is going to be the no fall damage, because we have a jetpack and I take damage when I fall. And it's driving me nuts having to, like, go close to the ground and then, like, you know, it's just catch myself. It's kind of a pain. Problem is, in order to get this stuff, we need 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 diamonds per. Not to mention all of the Supremium, which I actually have, I think, all of the Supremium that I need. I'm pretty sure I do. And by Supremium, I mean we're going to grab the Supremium essence and actually downgrade it as much as we need to get the rest of the boots and everything. So we need more than just the, 2, 4, 6, 8 per piece that it shows here. But we're pretty much good to go. I just have to wait. And the reason for that is because I don't have those diamonds. I did make the diamond seeds, and I do have Insanium in here, so they're growing faster. But at the moment, it's just a waiting game. I just have to wait. Once I'm done waiting, I craft the next tier, and then the next tier, and then the next tier, and then the next one, and then you get the idea. It's pretty simple. It's a simple concept to get the rest of the gear once you've gotten it started like I have. This is actually a reward from a quest that I just finished when I got the diamond seeds, which is pretty cool. Because, I mean, it's pretty good armor. We will very quickly be replacing it, but it's pretty good armor. But anyway, so I have to wait on that, and it's going to take a little while. It just is. I also have to wait on prosperity shards. Because I ran out completely. I need a few more in order to get pretty much all of it. Because like I said, I need like 10 diamonds per piece. I don't have any diamonds left. Well, I don't have that many diamonds left. But I certainly don't have the prosperity shards. Not even close, because I have none left, except for what has already come out of this guy. So I'm kind of just waiting, like a while. I'm going to end up having to AFK. But that means I can't quite finish this episode by the time it has to release. So that's a thing. What I'm going to do is in between episodes, I'm going to go ahead and get this armor. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to maybe craft the augments. I don't know if I'm going to put them on. It depends on how easy or difficult it is to put them on. If it's simple, then I'll just do it and tell you about it. If it's a little more involved, maybe we'll just make that an episode next time or something. I don't know. We'll see. But that is about all the time I've got for today. So if you like the video, please do hit the like button and subscribe to see more. Thank you for watching. Bye.